Hello, my name's Peter Hatton. Privileged to be with you again as we move now into 1 Chronicles. I had a sad but in many ways privileged duty of attending a funeral of a very old and dear friend, Elizabeth, in Germany last month. The priest said something I thought was really profound as he preached on those wonderful words from 2 Corinthians 5. Um, if this earthly tent of our dwelling is dissolved, we have a habitation in heaven, not made by hands. And also, he sort of crossed that with the wonderful words of Jesus in John 14. In my Father's house, there are many dwelling places. And he said that what Elizabeth had done in her life was constructed a building, not with her hands, but with her love, with the relationships that she had made. Firstly, with God and with Jesus, and then with her friends and family in Christ, but also with many, many other people, colleagues, acquaintances, the children she'd taught as a teacher. This was the building she constructed, and it was made of relationships. And if we bear this in mind, then the rather off-putting and puzzling chapters from 1 Chronicles 3 and 4, which are just long lists of names, mostly of men with the occasional woman, like Abigail, uh, which to our mind are very difficult to get hold of, can actually find their place. Because what we have to understand here is that this is a society which saw its purpose and being not in things, but in relationship. And not just relationships now, in the present, but with all those in the past who had contributed to make the present what it was. And so when the chronicler begins his history, he wants to just re-emphasize the importance of these relationships of mostly of flesh and blood, of kin, but not all. For instance, we notice that Caleb, the Kenizzite, who's adopted into the tribe of Judah, finds his place in this list. And so the tribes of Israel, and he concentrates here on the tribe of Judah, also Simeon and Benjamin come into it, and particularly that important part of the tribe of Judah, the house of David, are his focus. And of course, he can't understand his present without looking back to the past and seeing these mighty people in the past who had contributed by keeping the line going so that his present could be what it was. And of course, Christians have to remember that other great list of names and ancestors with which Matthew's Gospel begins, and which concentrates on the house of David in the end, and then comes to rest in Jesus Christ, who is born of that long line of ancestors through his earthly father, Joseph. So who are we? Can we just forget those who have come before us? No, we must not. We must remember the great men and women of God who have come before us and in many ways shaped what is good in our present. Also, of course, there have been bad things which have been passed down, and those too we must examine carefully and remember. But if we forget our past and where we've come from, then in many ways we can't get a handle on the present. So thank you for listening, and I look forward to travelling with you further in this wonderful journey through Chronicles.